Good morning. Thanks to those of you who came along to the live stream yesterday. Some profitable green screens along the way. Irish Premier Division, Irish First Division got a short shrift yesterday, very early in the season. It's very difficult to get any angles, unless, of course, you're a fan of Shamrock Rovers. Did Waterford score first? Let's have a look. No, Shamrock Rovers scoring first, so no real surprises there. That's about it, really. A good result for Kerry. Normally the whipping boys in the Irish First Division. I wonder if they're subtly improving upon last season. Bologna Salernitana, an obvious banker bet. Easy as you like. 2-0 by half-time. 20-minute rule, anybody? No. First goal, 14th minute. Elsewhere, another draw for Udinese against 13th and lower side. Oh boy, they'll be wishing this season could end. Lecce and Roma, well, interesting market because on paper you'd have had Roma as very strong favourites, but you've got to respect the market. The market got this right. Lecce were given a chance, and Lecce could have been the winning side if you looked at their in-play stats yesterday. So do pay attention to the market, particularly when the odds are not quite in keeping with what you expected. 6 shots on target, 12 shots off, 8 corners. Absolutely dominated this Roma side. I don't know if there's any significant Roma injuries to have made them 2.2 favourite yesterday. Well, Lukaku's playing. El Shaarawy was on the bench. Chris Smalling, familiar name. I'm not sure. So, interesting market. Inter Milan, not quite 3-0, 3-1, any other home score. 6-minute goal pretty much took away any value out of that particular match. As usual, over 2.5 goals in the Eredivisie. Great result for Atletico Madrid. Again, those odds looked fairly high for what they'd achieved this season, or rather what the Yellow Submarine hadn't achieved this season. Did Villarreal score first? No. Axel Witsel. Allsvenskan, far too early in the season. You saw surprise results there with Elfsborg drawing. AIK just limping to a 1-0 win. And Sirius getting the win. But the markets tended to pick these odds-on favourites correctly because Elfsborg were leading quite comfortably in that particular match. Of course, we had the English leagues yesterday as well. So we'll get down to those in a second. Danish Super League. Well, we were monitoring Midtjylland in the live stream. Coming back from 0-3 down is pretty good. But it's a gentle reminder, 2.38 the favourite makes matches very tough to unpack. We've got a few of them today. English Championship, easy as you like for Leicester. Anything yesterday, let's have a look. Rotherham and Millwall, where we actually made a profit despite Rotherham, who tend to lose comfortably, winning. Our initial gambit was to lay the draw. Now, if you've laid the draw and the underdog scores first, you're going to make about a break even. What we made was about a £10 green screen. So the draw odds did rise slightly. Cash out because the underdog scored first. Lay Rotherham with half stake. Back Millwall with half stake. Got out of this with a £31 green screen. So there you have it. £32 green screen on an unexpected Rotherham win. And these are one of those matches where ordinarily we'd have to take the hit when the underdog gets a strange result. This is very disappointing for Millwall and their fan base because when you're playing Rotherham, you are expected to take 3 points off an already relegated side. Elsewhere, let's have a look. West Brom and Watford. Well, this was a good call. I called it well, but I didn't really reap any rewards. We would have reaped the £200, if that's such a word, reaped. £200 profit had West Brom finished the job, as it was a £3 loss on the draw. £13 loss on Watford. So we just got involved in the match odds here. Very, very unlucky. In future, I think perhaps leave a bit on the draw, because it's disappointing when you've called the match correctly, but you've not necessarily profited from it, as was the case there. Ipswich and Saints, really good match to watch rather than trade. 2.3 the favourite again. Easy as you like for Leeds United a bit later on. Burton and Barnsley, well, some live streamers did point this out. Burton against Barnsley. Burton, one of those sides who it wouldn't surprise if they got an unexpected win. One of the relegation threatened sides playing a Barnsley side coming off the back of a 0-2 defeat against Cambridge United. So they have it in the locker room to lose against a side they're not expected to lose to. But normal service was resumed yesterday with that comfortable win against Barnsley, and up to you if you took it or not. Cambridge, that's 5 goals in 2 matches for the relegation threatened Cambridge. So they are on a charge to stay up. We had a inkling of a goal, of a profit. We took on a 0-2 Lincoln lead because of what Carlisle did recently against Peterborough, scoring 3 goals away at Peterborough. An obvious need for points for Carlisle. They did make it 1-2, and you could have got out with an evens return. It's all your return is linked in to your liability, so you would have made about an evens return on that, dependent on how high your liability was, just for that single goal to make it 1-2. Elsewhere, good stuff from Peterborough had to really win after that disappointing result against Carlisle with home advantage. And moving down to English League 2, Forest Green and Crewe, this was a loss. We were, again, it's another relegation threatened side pulling off an unexpected win. We've been on the wrong end of a few of these. It's very difficult to walk that tightrope, because ordinarily Forest Green are not reliable at all. But look at the difference that 3 points has made to them. Well, it's got them up to within a win of getting out. Don't forget, it's only the bottom 2, so Forest Green will have to believe, and this was a superb result. The best angle, I think, with these in the future is just to delay. I think watching brief and then get involved. Got involved in quite a few 0-2s yesterday. That's the way to do it. We got a goal back from Barrow, for example, against Morecambe. Again, based on league positions. We were looking at taking on Morecambe, because look at where these two are in the league. 8th against 5th. But an obvious chance for Morecambe to break into that top 7 with 3 points yesterday, which they took. But we did take them on 2-0 up. We did get a goal from Barrow, but it came far too late, alas. That was a pity. Stockport could have laid the draw second half. Great result for Sutton, another new relegation threatened side. Did lay the late draw, Tranmere and Colchester, 1.25 and lower. Disappointment from Salford. This is a second consecutive match where they've conceded first, equalised second half and lost 2-1. Their manager will be bitterly disappointed with that poor pattern of form. Those were the major leagues yesterday. On to today and Premier League today. And what is a tough Premier League coupon? Why is it tough? Well, we've got a London derby. We've got a 2.5 the favourite, and we've got a 2.6 the favourite. Very, very tough. Really, Everton against top sides shouldn't really score that second goal. Newcastle showed their prowess at home with that excellent come from behind 1-3 to 4-3 win against West Ham. So Newcastle's home form could see them through here against an Everton in a sticky situation. Failing to score that second goal far too consistently against top 10 sides. Nottingham Forest and Fulham. Well, Nottingham Forest will be a little alarmed that they've stopped scoring that second goal under Nuno Espirito Santo. A couple of 1-1 draws recently as well. Fulham are coming off the back of scoring 3 goals in 2 recent matches. So they're going to be full of confidence, but 2.6 the favourites tells you this is very tough to unpack. By all means, read the preview if that gives you an additional angle in, and good luck. But for me, these matches are too tough to call. Bournemouth against Crystal Palace, with Bournemouth are suddenly hitting form and scoring 2+ goals very regularly. Crystal Palace are under new management, so they're going to be very tough to read. They could overperform today. They could give us a surprise result above our expectation because of the new manager. The thing with Palace, we can't research really. They've only got a smattering of matches. A couple of 1-1 draws recently as well. Burnley against Wolves. Burnley are scoring 2 goals, but they're also conceding, worryingly, 2+ goals. I think in 8 of the last 9 matches. It's all dependent on whether Wolves have that 2-goal habit away from home. Let's have a quick look at that one. 2 consecutive away defeats for Wolves against Newcastle and Aston Villa. Well, Burnley are nowhere near the standard of Newcastle or Aston Villa. But Burnley, the 2-2 against West Ham, 2-1 home win, 2-2 against Chelsea as well. But playing London sides, typically they're getting solid results against London sides. 8 of the last 9 matches have conceded at least 2 goals. They did have their manager sent off last match and another player, so they might be shorn of a couple of key figures. Wolves, they've got to end a 2-match losing run. They're both teams have scored in all bar 1 match against 11th and lower for Wolves, so we might see that today, both teams to score there. London derby, as you know, West Ham and Tottenham. It's going to be very hard for us to pick a winner. I wouldn't take the market's odds either. These derbies are all about best on the day. Simple as that. Dutch Eredivisie, I'm not researching. 2.5 the favourite, 2.3 the favourite, and we've got stuck in the middle. PSV, who've only had 1 defeat all season, coming in the last match against this lot, NEC Nijmegen. So you wouldn't be expecting PSV to have 2 consecutive defeats. That would be the simple angle in there. Swedish Superettan, far too early in the season, of course, to do any research there. Turkish Super League, up to you if you wanted to follow that. 1.85, 1.14 Galatasaray. Those are our main matches. We've got an English League 1, English League 2, Portsmouth against Derby, top 2 clash. So this is arguably a Derby-style match. You've seen recent Derby-style matches. The most recent, Bayern Munich, very, very strong favourite, 1.36, losing 0-2 to Dortmund. Atalanta winning 0-3 away at Napoli. Results you don't really expect in what I style Derby-style matches. Ironically, featuring Derby. Top 2 clash, far too tough for me to call, I'm afraid. But Portsmouth are coming into this in exceptional form, scoring 2+ goals very, very readily indeed. They can continue that, of course. Very strong favourite. Lyon, excellent side, made some really good signings. Should get the better in the Coupe de France. DBF Pokal, Saarbrücken and Kaiserslautern. Stick that one on the back burner. Coppa Italia, Juve and Lazio. These two have recently met each other in another derby-style match, because these two are big names. And I think it was Lazio who came out on top in that very, very recent head-to-head. This is the cup. It's a semi-final, so you'd expect, there we go, 1-0 win for Lazio in the last match. So they have the psychological benefit of knowing they can beat Juve. This is likely to be a very tight, tough encounter. Do read the preview if you'd like as well. They are exceptional. So that's it today. I'm not sure you'll see me this evening, because it requires a 2:30 AM start from me. There's not enough matches for me to warrant staying up that late. And there's also a very tricky coupon with the London Derby, 2.5 the favourite, 2.6 the favourite. It's a very tough coupon, and a new manager as well. So you're unlikely to be hearing from me this evening, but as ever, if I am up and about, I will follow for you. I do prefer days like yesterday, where we had hundreds of matches all kicking off at the same time. Not just a very tough Premier League coupon and a smattering of other matches. It's not appealing for me as far as doing a live stream. If I am up and about, of course I will follow, but do please be cautious with London derbies, with 2.5 the favourite and 2.6 the favourite. And new managers can surprise. So there's mines all over this coupon. If you tread on one, it might affect your betting bank. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the live streams on Saturday, Sunday and Monday. It was great doing them again, getting back into the action. Might sit this one out this evening. I'll certainly be back for more particularly, I think, at the weekend where it's going to be very, very busy. But we've got some really solid midweek football, which is a big surprise. More Premier League tomorrow, Dutch Eredivisie, and the Turkish Super League. So it's great to see the Premier League midweek, but I don't like the timings of the matches. This one looks rather obvious. Arsenal must win, but Luton do have goals in them, so I could see both teams to score here as a potential. Man City must beat Aston Villa. So these two having dropped 2 points in their recent match between themselves. Brentford and Brighton, too tough to call. Moving on to Thursday. Let's have a look. More Premier League football on Thursday as Liverpool take on Sheffield United. Must win for both teams. Chelsea and Man United. Chelsea have gone rather under the radar recently. I thought they've been in pretty decent form. Not the kind of form to suggest that Pochettino gets the sack. I'll come to that when I research the match. Man United, as ever, extremely difficult side to unpack under Den Haag. Feyenoord got us a great trade at the weekend. Similar, well, that's even shorter than they were previous. Volendam got a 1-1 against Almere at the weekend. Ajax, are they getting back to their reliable selves? Famous last words. They're probably going to lose 0-1. And then we get to Friday. We just have to check whether there's any Champions League football upcoming. You can do that at uk.soccerway.com. Just check for next week, because any Champions League, Europa Conference League is going to greatly affect teams' performances. So just have a look at 9th of April. Indeed, we have the Champions League. So we've got to be wary of the Champions League this Saturday and Sunday. Arsenal, Bayern, Real Madrid, Man City. So that's extremely good. Tuesday coupon. Looks like I'm going to have a lot of midweek work to do. Some really good midweek stuff. Champions League again on Wednesday. So factor in these teams: Atletico Madrid, Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, particularly if they're playing away from home midweek. Likely, as we tend to see, we'll see a few of these sides playing on a Friday. That tends to be the norm ordinarily, but we're not seeing any of the big names playing on this Friday. Normally, it's a good move from these European countries to get their big names playing on a Friday, so they have an extra day off. Europa League, AC Milan, Roma, tasty, tasty. Liverpool, Atalanta, Leverkusen, West Ham, Benfica and Marseille. Big Italian section there. Europa Conference League, Olympiacos, Fenerbahce, Poulsen, Fiorentina, Club Brugge, PAOK, Aston Villa and Lille. So do bear these in mind this Friday, Saturday and Sunday. One or two of these sides could underperform. That's it for me for today. Probably not going to be doing a live stream this evening, given the lack of numbers on the coupon. But I'll be back for you with plenty of opportunities upcoming. Have a great night.